Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Sitdowns with yours truly, once again, R. Adrianus, novelist and enjoyer of many things. Today we're going to have a little bit, just a quick edition for this week. I had something that I wanted to kind of vlog about a couple of days ago. I decided not to, just because I thought it would be a better subject to talk about. For the sit-downs itself, not just as a vlog. I went to my local bookstore. It's called Roman's Bookstore. It's in Pasadena. It's not really local. It's actually like 15 minutes away, but it's pretty local to me. I mean, I used to live around there, so it's familiar territory. But I went there, and they had a little stand, and the sign above the stand, it said banned books. So banned books, meaning that these are books, all throughout the country that have at one point or another been restricted by some sort of governing body. And the store was kind of like, using that as a good advertising tool. Like, hey, yeah, these are books that have been banned before. You should read these. Be a rebel and all that awesomeness. And they actually had a nice little printout right here. Mine's all folded and tattered. And I took a nice photocopy of it and posted it on the blog, which we'll be posting down below. You can take a look at that and read through it along with me if you'd like, or after the video, whatever you prefer. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It just kind of runs through 5 little key points, like what's a banned book, who bans these books, what are the reasons they ban them, why are the books challenged by these governing bodies, and what are some of the commonly banned books in history. And yeah, it was pretty cool. I kind of enjoyed this little, I guess, this romp into the world of banned books. You don't really think about it when you read these books in high school or middle school or even in college. And a lot of these books have at one point been banned by somebody who just didn't find them appropriate. And it kind of made me proud because it's like you're taking part in some sort of rebellion. It's not really a massive movement, but it is a movement for literacy in all aspects. It's really great. You don't want to be subjected to constrained curriculum. You want to be able to read everything, and I think that's why glorifying books that have been banned is very important. I think that's really admirable that this bookstore did this. But we'll make this pretty quick. I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about what banned books are. Obviously, we know what a banned book is. I'm not going to discuss that definition, but who are the people who normally ban books? Even though I already knew about what who are the people who ban them, it turns out that like this gave me a better view of it. It says here about 56% of books that are banned, it's initiated, or the banning is initiated by parents, and 13% it's initiated by patrons of bookstores and libraries. So I mean, these are like the major distributors, like the bookstores and the libraries, who are literally just saying no, we don't want these books distributed to youth or to the general public. And then the 56%, which I thought was a pretty staggering number, of parents, who you literally will have half of the parental population who will view a book as inappropriate for their children, which I thought was very, very interesting. I never knew that some books would actually invoke that type of response. And as we discussed further, you kind of see why. I mean, what are some of the reasons banned books are challenged? I read this. It seemed pretty basic. Oftentimes it has offensive language or has some sort of religious implications to them or sexual content, stuff that kind of parents get really up in arms about. So yeah, I can kind of understand that, but once again, it's books. It's not like television where you might flip a channel and might accidentally see something like, oh my god, little Jimmy, cover your eyes. It's not like little Jimmy is going through page 56 like, oh, they have time to read that whole paragraph. It could be more of a matter of, hey mommy, I just read this. What's this about? I mean, there was time for moderation, I guess. So I don't know. It's a little funny. It's all about the parents, I think. That's gonna be like the ultimate point. Why are books challenged? It's kind of like the same thing, but books can be challenged with good intentions, even though it might be kind of a misguided intention. That's what the whole purpose of banning books is, I guess, in the perspective of the banners. Is that a word? They want to protect the public. They want to protect their youth, I guess, from the content that could be potentially harmful. But in the end, it's still, they're still vetoing our right to expose ourselves. Exposure is key, and if you don't have that, then kind of what are we doing, in this country, in this world sort of ideal, whatever. You don't want to be moderated that way. And then the last one was like, commonly banned books. Like you have Harry Potter, which was a big one when it first came out because, it was witchcraft and wizardry and, this whole idea of magic, and, it kind of challenges these religious notions, or maybe indirectly people thought. And, no, it was a fantasy story. There had been so many before it, and there are going to be many after it. There have been already. And I think it's just because it had such grand appeal that people were like, wait, hold on, this is magic. No, but where's Jesus? Where's Buddha? And it's like, no, I mean, we have, Dumbledore, and we have Voldemort. I mean, oh, I'm sorry, he who must not be named. But yeah, I mean, they're characters. They were just characters, people, come on. And then Fahrenheit 451, I mean, they wanted to ban a book about banning books, which it was interesting. Or not even banning books, they wanted to burn the books, which I thought was really funny. It's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, but they wanted to take away people's right to read the story, and that's exactly what Fahrenheit 451 is. They burn books to take away that right to information, which is that's really hilarious. Like the world kind of it's almost laughable the way things come about that way. They banned that book. To Kill a Mockingbird, Lord of the Flies, just to name a few on this list. And then I actually went online and I saw another list of banned books, and we'll be adding that to the video as well, so you can kind of give that a look. Fold this up for now. I'm keeping this. This is pretty cool. I like this as a reference. I also have the digital copy, but whatever. Put this aside for now. But yeah, banned books, it's kind of a crazy notion, I think. You don't really need to ban books. Like I said, coming back to what steps you can take towards the information, towards the content. I mean, parents, for your kids, you moderate it. If your kids have a question, make sure to answer it to the best of your ability. I mean, I can't really speak as a parent, it's a different perspective, your life changes, but, the general notion is that, you don't want to hide them from the information. If they read the information, then you need to discuss it with them, because that's what learning is. That's why you send your kids to school. That's why I went to school. That's why I learned all this stuff. So, I think it's a pretty good way to go about it. But then parenthood is a different beast all itself. People would disagree or agree. And then for just the general public, when people want to ban a book for the public not to read, I think that's absurd. You know what? When the general public is deemed unfit to be exposed to this book, or vice versa, the book is unfit to be exposed to the public, it's just like, no, there's no person, no entity, no governing body who has the right to make that call. We all, as individuals of the society, not just American society, but global society, we have a right to be exposed to whatever information we see fit for ourselves. So if I want to go to the bookstore and pick up something that might be deemed inappropriate, I remember there's a book not too long ago, the Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie, which I remember had a lot of issues when it was first released. It was banned as well. I want to read that book, just because for the sole sake of, hey, yeah, it was banned. I want to see what the whole hype was, and whether it was a good book just for its literary value, but and also kind of what was the conflict. Why did people why were people up in arms about this book as well? But yeah, I mean, I have a right. You have a right to go to the bookstore and read whatever it is you want to read, or go to the library and read whatever you want to read. I mean, I guess it's kind of strange because I live in California. A lot of people are like, oh, you live in California, it's so liberal. Is that the term? Sorry, I'm not very political about that stuff, but yeah, I guess they say, oh, you come from a very liberal community, your society is so lax on everything. But no, I mean, it's kind of the general idea that if you want your liberties, then exploit those liberties. Read what you want and use that information. And parents, moderate for your kids, answer their questions if they have them, and the public, they're just kind of, read what you want. It's in your ballpark to do so. It's in your court. There you go. Basketball analogies. Does it sound like I don't know sports? Yeah, I hope it's pretty clear. It's kind of sad. But yeah, read what you want. That's what it comes down to. Or if you have to, have some guy sling some banned books for you. Like, hey man, got a copy of Fahrenheit 451. Want me to hook you up? Like, That'd be interesting. I'd rather, criminals flock to the streets to go pick up a banned book than go pick up something else, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's the world we live in, banned books. So yeah, do as the paper suggests, or go to your store and go buy a banned book and read it. And yeah, I'm sure you'll still enjoy it, despite whatever guilt you might feel. Oh, it's banned. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this edition of the Sit Downs. We'll be doing some vlog uh, uploads later in the week, hopefully. And next week, make sure to look forward to the next edition of the Sit Downs. Don't forget to like and to subscribe, and also to check out the Tumblr post. Excuse me. God, I can't enunciate. It's late, guys. You're gonna get this in the morning, but I'm doing this right now, and it's a little bit late, so sorry about that. But yeah, check out the Tumblr post at the bottom, and make sure to note that and give that a look. And we'll be seeing everyone very soon. Peace and love. Bye.